Trump imposes 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum.
Gaza ceasefire deal hits snag. Israel puts military on high alert.
The beauty of the first full moon in Vietnamese mind.
You're watching today's news on NTV. My name is Nguyễn Thị and I will be your guide through today's latest update. On the morning of February 11 Vietnam time, U.S. President Donald Trump officially signed an executive order imposing a 25% tariff on all imported steel and aluminum. This decision marked the next step in Trump's trade strategy aimed at boosting domestic production and protecting the steel and aluminum industry, which he described as the backbone of the American economy.
On imports of steel at a 25%
In a statement
rate.
made in the Oval
Since
Office,
that time,
Trump
the
emphasized that the 25% tariff will have no exceptions or exemptions.
have been implemented.
Countries that previously
We're now,
enjoyed
this
tariff
order would
exemptions will no
reimpose
longer
that
have these
25%
benefits.
ad valorem tariff rate.
Everyone can understand exactly what it means. It's 25% without exceptions or exemptions, and that's all countries, no matter where it comes from, all countries. If made in the United States, however, United States of America, there is no tariff, it's zero.
The new tariffs will take effect on March 4th. Trump pledged that this measure would boost domestic production, create jobs, and decrease reliance on countries outside the U.S. Experts suggest that while this decision may benefit the American steel and aluminum industries, it will increase import costs, impact the overall economy, and could escalate trade tensions between the U.S. and other countries.
The Israeli military has been put on the highest alert after Hamas suspend release of 3 Israeli captives, raising concern about the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip.
The Israeli Defense Ministry stated that the decision to put the military on alert is to respond to any situation that may occur after Hamas accused Israel of violating ceasefire commitments. Hamas claimed that Israel had not fully adhered to its commitments regarding the dismantling of checkpoints and withdrawing tanks from the Netzarim corridor while continuing bombings and preventing the distribution of relief and medical supplies into Gaza. Israel has denied Hamas allegations and said postponing the release of hostages could lead to serious consequences. Previously, Hamas had released 21 Israeli hostages as part of the ceasefire agreement, in exchange for the release of about 600 Palestinian prisoners. However, the current disagreements could cause the Phase 1 agreement to collapse before the parties reach a consensus on the next stages of ceasefire, which is expected to re-establish peace in the Gaza Strip.
On the morning of February 11th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính chaired a regular government meeting with commercial banks to promote growth and control inflation. The Prime Minister outlined 8 important tasks that the banking sector needs to focus on in the near future.
The Prime Minister requested bank sector to reduce costs, lower lending rates to support the economy, concentrate credit on growth drivers, take the lead in digital transformation and technology application, cut red tape and reduce bad debts, build smart banks, provide credit support for social housing, and combat corruption. The Prime Minister stated that 2025 is a particularly significant year to successfully implement the socio-economic development plan for 2021 to 2025. Therefore, localities, businesses and banks must achieve a growth rate of at least 8% to meet national goals.
Coming up next are some updated news.
This morning, the Department of Industry and Trade organized an online seminar called Information on the U.S. Market, Economic and Trade Development Trends in 2025. The United States is currently the 4th export market of Nghệ An province. In 2024, Nghệ An, U.S. exports reached $256.8 million United States dollars, accounting for 8.6% of the province's total exports of goods. As the United States continues to make changes in its trade policy, access to market information is essential. At the seminar, representatives from the Vietnamese consulate, commercial office in Houston, Texas and market experts shared information about the U.S. market, including trends in economic and trade development for 2025, including information relevant to local strengths such as agricultural products, fisheries, rocks, plastic particles, building materials, electronic components equipment.
Domestic gold prices today rise sharply, breaking all previous records. Specifically, gold bars reached 90.1 to 93.1 million Vietnamese dongs per tael, the highest price ever, surpassing the last record of 92.2 million Vietnamese dongs per tael set on May 10, 2024. Gold ring also rise to an all-time high, exceeding the previous record of 91.2 million Vietnamese dongs per tael on February 6 and February 10. In the international market, gold prices also hit new highs, surpassing the 2,900 United States dollars per ounce for the first time due to the need for safe haven investment as President Donald Trump's threat to impose new tariffs that raises fears of a trade war and inflation.
According to Hana Tour, the largest travel company in South Korea, Vietnam continues to be the top travel destination for the Republic of Korea, ROK's families with children under 10 for the second consecutive year. Based on booking trends in January and the demand for international travel during the winter holiday, Vietnam accounted for 26.6% of all overseas family bookings, leading the list of preferred destinations. Last year, Vietnam also ranked first with 24.4%. The analysis highlights the Southeast Asian country's year-round warm climate as a key factor in its popularity, particularly for winter travel. Diverse entertainment activities and many other factors contribute to Vietnam's appeal for both children and parents.
The first full moon of the Lunar New Year holds great significance for the Vietnamese people. An essential ritual that has become a traditional cultural activity within family and clans on this day is the careful preparation of offering to ancestors, expressing gratitude and wishing for a peaceful and happy New Year.
The first full moon in January, also known as Tết Nguyên Tiêu, is very important to Vietnamese people, embodying the spirit of honoring ancestors and roots. For the Nguyen Din lineage in Con Hop Commune, Ghi Loc District, descendants from the north and south always gather on this occasion. Together they prepare offerings with sincere hearts dedicated to their ancestors. This is also a way to educate children and grandchildren to remember the fatherland, the ancestors, and maintain family traditions.
The first full moon in January is an occasion for descendants from both the north and south to gather for the New Year festival. This day is very important and sacred. The tradition here is to prepare offerings with sincere hearts.
Not only is the first full moon celebrated in individual households, but many clans in rural areas also hold large-scale ancestral rites to welcome descendants from various places.
We always remind our children that the first full moon is the time to remember their roots. We educate the next generations to honor their ancestors. So the first full moon is always organized within the family and in our homeland with ancestral rites.
Through thousands of years and in the modern life today, the traditional beauty of the first full moon remains a ritual in spiritual life of family and clan. This is also a way to remind each child to always turn their hearts towards their origins with sincerity and gratitude.
The last news has ended our bulletin today. Thanks for your watching and see you next time.